It's time for me to go cut the grass after I take the cat out for a walk. Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's Maintenance with Marco. Today, I want to talk about tie rod end assemblies. So, tie rod end assemblies consist of tie rod ends and a tube. Speaking about this in relation to performing wheel alignments, a problem comes up where we have to check the tie rod ends and the tube. We have to make sure that the tube can move. When we do a wheel alignment, we start with the number 2 drive, go to the number 1 drive, and then end up at the front steers. That being said, we align from the rear to the front and make sure that everything is moving straight and you're not doing the crab walk across the lane trying to hit somebody on the low. That's not what we want. So some of the issues that we run into, age and deposits that are on the threads of the tie rod ends, because these threads are clogged up with what I like to affectionately call sediment. Basically, it's just dirt, dust, and debris, grease, mud, rainwater that has accumulated over the course of you making your trips. Now, when we have a lot of debris that's caked up in the threads, that makes it harder for us to perform the wheel alignment, because as the tie rod ends are in the steering knuckle, secured by the castle nut and cotter pin, we won't be able to get the tube to move. Also, if you take a little bit closer look, the tube has a little slit. I'm gonna take my handy dandy flat tip. You can see the sediment deposits that are in here, which is gonna make it extremely difficult, if not impossible, to turn this tube. Having dirt, dust, and debris inside this slit will lead to where the tube is gonna seize up and it's not gonna spin at all. This is when we make the recommendations on maybe having the tie rod end assembly replaced as a whole. Replacing this as a whole will eliminate still having to try and take off a tube that will barely move or won't potentially move at all. This is a time saver for you in the long run also, because once we get this done, we put the new one on, but before we do, we remove the tie rod ends and then we hit the threads with anti-seize. This will help keep out some of the dirt, dust, debris, sediment, also making it easier for you to come back, have another wheel alignment completed anywhere, depending on how you do your mileage. I would say maybe 150,000 miles to maybe 10, 12 months, depending on how much you're driving. This will give us less of an issue trying to spin your tube. That also being said, if you have the time to, I would highly suggest maybe you go take it somewhere, get it clean, get it washed and rinsed off. That will also too help eliminate on some of these deposits that we have that are gonna impede us from spinning the tube. Hey, I want y'all to keep this in mind. Wherever you go, there you are. Be safe, take care, travel light, peace.